Okay, Guru Nation, you wanted it, you asked for it, you got it. Aquestive Therapeutics has been my favorite biotech for the last few months, and it's been absolutely on a tear. This is probably my fifth video, maybe not that many, third, at least my third video in the last 3 months. I mean, it's been absolutely insane what this stock has been doing. My last video, which was only like a month ago, this thing was at like $4 or $3. It was like at three something 6 months ago. I started making this video. I think it was down to like mid threes. It's doubled since then. When I first did my very first video, it was like in the threes. I think even last year, I was covering this stock. It was like around mid threes. Now it's mid sixes. Okay, like 3 months later, basically in the last month, it's been doing all the progress. So on October 8th, it was 369, November 8th, 625. Why? It's all about market sentiment. It's all about the community. If you look on stock twits, you see for such a small cap biotech, this biotech, now the market cap increased, but it's still only $249 million. Look how many comments you're getting 8 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, 29 minutes ago, all of them bullish. Okay, only up from here. Today, here we go again. Excellent, excellent. Bunch of YouTubers, major catalyst. There's a lot. You cannot replicate this in any biotech. This one has all the makings of something that could by year end double even from here. So I don't think it's unreasonable to see $10 to $12 a share by the end of the year. Right now it's November 8th. They have an upcoming PDUFA for Libervant for the treatment of emergency epilepsy with an oral film. This company's developed an oral film for a lot of things. We're going to look into their pipeline. But on Latinos in Clinical Research, you got to give my own websites a shout out. Shout out to Eileen Schneider, the writer. She does excellent writing, excellent due diligence for us. Aquestive Therapeutics, a pharmaceutical company focused on developing and commercializing differentiated products that address patients' unmet needs and solve therapeutic problems for CNS disorder, recently reported financial results for the third quarter ended September 30th, 2021. Keith Kendall, who I've been trying, Keith, if you're watching, I'm really trying to get you on the show. Please. CEO of Aquestive reported that the company continues to interact with the FDA regarding the NDA submission for Libervant, a buccally or inside of the cheek administered soluble film for the formulation of diazepam, a benzodiazepine intended for rapid treatment of acute uncontrolled seizures in selected refractory patients with epilepsy on stable regimens of AEDs who require intermittent use of diazepam to control bouts of increased seizure activity. This is the PDUFA coming up. A lot of people say it's before Christmas. Before Christmas. So we got a little more than a month. I don't think AQST is going to have very many more down days. If you can get it, get it. Okay, because I think I'm very bullish on this company. Not financial advice. I actually don't even own that much, but full disclosure, I do own in my Robinhood account some AQST. Matter of fact, it's the only biotech right now in my Robinhood that I own. I'm not counting my retirement account or anything like that, where I have KMPH and a few other things. I might even have AQST in there too. Aquestive has responded to several information requests, having a recent inspection of its post-marketing adverse event capabilities regarding changing in language related to its packaging, approval of the product trade name, and an update to the patent information included in the resubmission. The company is continuing to prepare for commercialization with payer and sales force planning underway. The company believes that Libervant, if approved by the FDA for U.S. market access, will enable a larger share of patients to receive more appropriate treatment by providing consistent therapeutic dosing in a non-invasive and innovative treatment form for epileptic seizures. Aquestive is developing Libervant as an alternative to more invasive, inconvenient, and difficult to administer device-driven products, including a rectal gel and a nasal spray. We've covered this before. Aquestive continues to actively engage with the FDA regarding its NDA for Libervant. ahead of the PDUFA target goal date of December 23rd. See Prescription Drug User Fee Act, PDUFA, December 23, 2021. Aquestive has again spoken with and provided additional information to the FDA Office of Orphan Product Development that the company believes provides a clear position of clinical superiority as a major contribution to patient care. According to Candle, we recently demonstrated clinical results comparable to the auto-injectors in the recently completed phase 1 trial for AQST 109, which is epinephrine prodrug sublingual film. We're going to get into that too. Potentially the first orally administered epinephrine product for the emergency treatment of allergic reaction, including anaphylaxis. So this is where like the EpiPen, you need like the crash cart. Even though all the clinical researchers know this, if you own a site, you got to have a crash cart. EpiPen is like probably the most common thing in a crash cart. Well, now they might have oral sublingual film at some point. They're only in phase 1, so it might be a few years. But look, for this company that already has Suboxone, which, by the way, sales are going way better than expected. That's why earnings, they didn't lose as much this quarter as last, and they're decreasing their losses while increasing their R&D costs. That's saying a lot right there. Before year end, they anticipate written feedback from the FDA following our pre-IND meeting request and plan to commence an adaptive design crossover study that will determine the final formulation and dose strength, leading to our pivotal PK study in 2022. So they're trying to find maximum tolerated dose in healthy volunteers so that they can then start doing the phase 2 after that, right? AQST 109 uses Aquestive's farm film technology. The company reported positive top-line data from its first-in-human phase 1, which is a PK trial for AQST. Top-line data is safety. So phase 1 is all about safety and finding the maximum tolerated dose. Findings from this study support AQST 109's potential as the first orally administered and transformative epinephrine-based product for the treatment of allergic reactions. Safety, tolerability, PK, and pharmacodynamic measures comparable to those of standard of care auto-injectors such as EpiPen, I told you guys, and Aviki. These products require patients or caregivers to inject epinephrine into their thighs during an emergency allergic reaction. However, AQST 109 would, if approved by the FDA, allow a patient to simply place a dissolvable strip, approximately the size of a postage stamp, under the tongue, again providing appropriate medication where is needed and in a form preferred by patients. Aquestive has submitted its request for pre-IND meeting with the FDA and anticipates receiving a written response from the FDA before the end of 2021. So look, I always like to look at the downside. This company already has Suboxone, sales going way better than anticipated. It has the PDUFA catalyst for Libervant. It has, let me make an emphasis on this, okay? It's got Suboxone sales doing way better than expected. It's got Libervant PDUFA before December 23rd of this year. It's got it's going to let us know about the IND for AQST 109 before the year end also. Written response from the FDA. You get 3 catalysts. You get another earnings report probably right around then, around December or January. To me, it's limited downside, even if the PDUFA gets rejected, which most think it won't, but it's not priced into the price yet. You still have more catalysts coming up. So I think the downside is maybe $3, maybe $2 at the lowest. And the upside is 15, if not higher. Aquestive has submitted its request for a pre-IND meeting with the FDA. Okay, the company's proprietary product, Sympazan, clobazam, an oral film for the treatment of seizures associated with Lennox-Gastaut syndrome, continue to grow in shipment volumes. Aquestive's total revenues were $13.3 million in third quarter 2021 compared to $8.3 million in third quarter 2020. For the third quarter 2021 compared to the prior year, the company saw an 18% increase in Sympazan net revenue and a 77% increase in manufacturer and supply revenue. The company's net loss for the third quarter was $14.6 million or 37 cents loss per share. The net loss for third quarter 2020 was 49 cents per share. The year-over-year change in net loss was driven by higher revenue, lower costs and expenses, offset by an increase in non-cash interest related to Mobi monetization transaction, which does not represent a cash output. LMR Partners, so we always look for institutional investors in these kind of small caps. LMR Partners acquired a new stake in Aquestive. The firm acquired 12,000 shares of the company's stock. A number of other institutional investors have also recently made changes. PDT Partners purchased a new position in Aquestive at 325,000. Alberta Investment Management Corp purchased a new position in Aquestive at 596,000. Morgan Stanley lifted its position by 54% during the second quarter. Morgan Stanley now owns 553,000 shares, valued at $2.198 million, after buying an additional 195,000 shares during the period. There's a lot of institutional investors, Goldman Sachs. This is a lot of good stuff happening, all the right things you want to see in a company like this. So if you look, let's revisit what they're doing. So here they have the collaborations. Okay, here's the in-licensing, out-licensing. They got Suboxone. This one, the sales are doing really good. Sympazam, they're doing good, really good on that too. They've partnered with Mitatech to launch Zuplenz, ondansetron, basically anti-nausea, mainly for patients undergoing chemo. You know, when they're nauseous, it's tough to swallow pills. They're giving them Zuplenz, so everything's based on this oral film. And if you look at the pipeline, Libervant coming up for PDUFA, then you got anaphylaxis severe allergy, AQST 108 and 109. They're both in phase 1s. And then you got AQST 305, acromegaly carcinoid syndrome. It's in proof of concept. And then you've got the licensed products, Suboxone. You've got Zuplenz with a partner Hypera out of Brazil. Kinmobi, partner is Sunovion. And then you've got this one, which is the most recently announced one, AQST 119, Tadalafil, which is generic Cialis. They've partnered with a company called Intelgenx. So I looked at Intelgenx's press release. This was back in 2016, but they basically have they signed a binding term sheet for a license to Tadalafil from Eli Lilly, and they're commercializing Tadalafil ED VersaFilm in the U.S. So it is a Cialis film, basically oral film, just like what AQST is using. So they've partnered with AQST to create the actual technology for this licensing. And that, in a nutshell, is what AQST has going for itself. Excellent earnings, losing less money. They anticipate the company will be breaking even at the end of 2022. So you're looking at a small market cap, 250K at $6. Let's say at 12K, it's a $500 million. You're looking at between $12 to $15 by 2022. Like, it could even be higher. You're looking at potential acquisitions. Everything's on the table for AQST. But the point is, it actually has revenue. So it's not depending on investors. It's not depending on liquidating or raising more offerings on the public markets and diluting value. It doesn't need to do any of that. Has everything going for itself. I own some, not financial advice. I'll continue to buy some over the next few weeks. And then I'm just going to wait like everyone else. Usually for these kind of things, I like to trade it. And you can do this too. You can trade it up until like right before PDUFA and then sell based on the anticipation, or you can just ride it through. I'm personally going to ride it through. I'm not putting that much money into it. So for me, I'm just going to ride it through. I think the downside is not that bad compared to the upside. So I'm going to ride it through. Let me know what you guys think about this company in the comments below. Again, you guys wanted it. I had to do an Aquestive Therapeutics for you guys. A lot of good stuff coming up for this company potentially. Not financial advice, but this one's looking good. Take care, guys.